Hi folks, and I hope you're all keeping well. Today I'm going to show you how I created this Halloween inspired theme on my Roland JD-Xi. I say Halloween inspired because it's loosely based on John Carpenter's theme for Halloween, but I couldn't get it quite exactly the same as the original, so I call it inspired. So it's just a bit of fun anyway, and seems to have generated quite a bit of interest, so I just thought I'd show you how to do it so you can play it along at your Halloween parties. So let's kick off by showing you what I've got here. So I've got 4 sequences set up on the JD-Xi, set up as favourites over this side. So this is sequence 1 that's playing now, and this is sequence 2. So it just repeats again, and this is sequence 3, all very similar. So this one's got like 4 notes in it rather than the 3 of the first 2. And then in this song what I do, I mute that sound before I bring in the final sequence. Which has got this extra sound in there, which I'm going to show you how to do. I also used an additional keyboard on there as well, so just to play in a little bit of string sound. So if you've got access to another keyboard, that would be really good. You can sort of try and do it with the JD-Xi, but it doesn't have that nice sort of sound to it. But anyway, let me show you what I've done. So let's look at the first sequence. So when the song starts, these 2 are muted. So we mute the middle 2 here, and we've just got this very haunting sound. And I think in the original it was a piano, but I'm actually using the harp sound on the JD-Xi for this. So it's on digital 1 I've got harp 1, and on the analog synthesizer I've got pulse bass 1. So let me show you the patterns that are being created here. So a little bit of basics. The tempo that I'm using is 133 beats per minute, and it's a 16 note pattern, and it's over 4 measures. So we've got that type of setup going on here. So the harp sound, the original harp sound on the JD-Xi is quite low, which is obviously sounds quite like a harp. But what I did, I just shifted it up a couple of octaves, so it gives it this and the notes that I'm playing to do that is a C sharp and a F sharp, and up to a D, so those are the notes that I'm playing. So I'm going to show you how I then program that into the sequencer. So as before, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete everything that's in this sequence. So just go Shift, Erase, and we'll erase everything. Okay, so we've just got a nice blank sequence there now. So as I say, harp 1 is shifted up 2 octaves. So the harp sound can be found in the keyboard selector here. So set the select knob to keyboard, just go through the different tones until you find harp 1. And then, as I say, shift it up 2 octaves. So press the octave button twice just to get it up to that sound. Now the way that I program this, quite simple. We've got the 16 notes of the sequencer here. So the first note is this C sharp, and that goes on position 1, and the F sharp goes on positions 3 and 5, and back to the C sharp again on position 7, F sharp on 9 and 11, and then we finish off the first measure with a C sharp on 13 and an F sharp on 15. So what we've got so far is this, which is a repeating single sequence, because remember I've deleted everything in the settings here, so we've just got a one measure sequence going on. Now what you can now do is add the analog sound in there. So the analog sound that I'm using to create that repeating sound underneath the main sequence is the pulse bass 1. But what I did with it is filtered it a bit as well, and also changed the octave on it. So the if I just find pulse bass 1 in the settings again, so there's pulse bass 1. So normally it will be down there, but we want it higher. So to do that, again, shift it up a couple of octaves. So it's up 3 octaves. Let's check my notes. Pulse bass 1, 3 octaves. Yeah, that's correct. So, and the note that's repeating is this C sharp note here, and it's literally on every note of the sequencer. So press the note, and then just hit every note on the sequencer, and then that will then be in there. But what I did with that is just filtered it slightly to give it that sort of, just to take that edge off it slightly. So that's the sort of sound you're looking for. Right, we add that then to the main tune. Okay, so we can now extend this sequence. So we've just got a 1 measure sequence at the moment. We can turn that now into 4 measures. So that main line of the sequencer appears on 3 of the 4 measures. So we may as well use it all and then delete what we don't want. Hopefully this demonstration will make it a bit clearer. So go into the menus, find pattern length. So we've got pattern length there, press enter. Currently set to 1 measure, change that to 4, press enter. With copying, yes, so press enter. And now that's copied onto all 4 measures. But we don't want that theme sound, that main theme sound, we don't want that on measure 2. So what do? So let's get to measure 2. So remember, hold the shift key down and you'll see that there's 4 measures lit up there. So that's measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4. Alright? So if you press the shift key down, press number 2, we're now into measure 2. Now we want to erase these notes here and put new notes in, because in the sequence actually goes from down to, or up to rather. So we want it to change to D. So that note there needs to change to a D. That note there stays the same. So what you can do, you can press the erase button, press the number 1, press the number 7, press the number 13, and then we can put new notes in there. So press the D note, press 1, 7 and 13, and let's see what we've got. And as if by magic, there it is. Okay, so now we want that bass sound to come in. So the bass sound is on D2, and the sound that I'm using for that is called Soft Brs1 or Soft Brs1, and that's in the brass settings on the JD-Xi. And with that one, we're shifting it down one octave. So let's have a listen to that sound. Yeah, down one octave. So this would be the standard position. This is where we want to be. And to get that richer sound, instead of just playing one note, we're playing two notes. So we're playing octaves. So we're pressing the F sharp note here and the F sharp note here. And that's going to be recorded onto the first measure. So let's get into the first measure. So remember, hold the shift key down, press number 1, press the notes down. So that's the note we want. Press the step recorder, press the notes, the two F sharps, and then use the key hold to move it on. So it goes 16, and it lights up flashing 1 again, but that 1 is now on the second bar, and the note that we want after that is an A note. So the A note is here, so there's the F, there's the A, okay, but we want two A's in there, so we want this A and this A, so press them both down together. See, the sequencer has moved on to the next setting, so use the key hold now to take that right to the end of the bar until that note's flashing. And the note that we want on next is B flat, so there's the A, there's the B flat, so press B flat and then use the key hold to move it on. And you want to move it on till that flashes, but carry on moving it to the end of the bar. So that B flat is going to be on all of those positions. Press step recorder to turn it off and have a listen. Oh, turn the sound on first. Okay, now there's one other sound in there that if you've not been listening through headphones or through a decent set of speakers, you won't have heard it. This is why I say you need to listen either through headphones or a decent set of speakers to these music videos. And we've got some drums going on there creating a heartbeat sound. So the kit that I'm using for it is the Rock kit, and the drum that I'm using is bass drum 2. Now bass drum 2, let me just see if I can make it sound like it should do without the filtering. There we go, Rock kit. So that's bass drum 2 as it normally sounds, but we're going to filter it, so get the cutoff. If you change the cutoff, you can make it sound like a heartbeat. And to do that on the sequence, if we go back to position 1 again, we put a bass drum note on positions 1 and 15 of every bar. 1, 15, 1 and 15, 1 and 15. Have a listen. That's right, it's me saying have a listen, but if you haven't got headphones on, you're not going to hear it. So you don't have to put that sound in, it's entirely up to you. So once you've done that, that completes that sequence, that's all done. And then we're just going to save that sequence in the usual way. So you press shift and right and then enter, and that will then save that sequence. So what you need to do then is to save that sequence again, but then save it to the next program along. So for mine, for example, I'm on F9 now, so I've saved the same sequence to F9. So we've got the basis. We've got the analog sound, which remains the same. We've got the drum sound, which remains the same, but we can erase digital synth 2 and digital synth 1 because we're going to put different notes into there. So digital synth 1, we just press Shift and erase, Enter, and Enter again. And digital synth 2, we press Shift and erase, Enter and Enter. So that's all we've got now. So the next notes that we play, so the first notes that were, so we're going down to B and E now for the next notes. So it goes B down to E, then for the second part goes to up to C. So let's just put those in. So you just carry on putting those in. So go to the next bar, so next measure rather, up to the C. And then the last bar. Oh, did that one wrong, didn't we? Let's just erase that. No, we won't erase the whole thing. We don't want to do it all again. Just erase those last notes on that last one. And then the bass sound that goes in with that. Just play that along a minute just to make sure I get it right. Ease. So the notes that are going to go into there is, we don't have to do anything with the settings at all over here. We're just simply going to play the notes into the sequencer. So make sure we're back on position number 1, press the 2 E's down together, and then use the step recorder, so press the 2 E's and then use the key hold to move it on. I think I've gone wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I should have gone to G. So let's just erase that one completely and do that one again. So back to position number 1, press the step recorder, use the key hold to move the sequencer to the next measure. Press the G's now, so it's E to G. Use the key hold to move it on. Then from G to A. And then that goes through all the way to the end of the bar. Or the measure rather, the last measure. There we go. And the last one, again, very, very similar. We go to the next sequence, so save that one, copy it across to the next memory slot, and you've got, it goes down another note. But this one doesn't change, so this one doesn't go up, it just stays on the same, playing those same notes, so it's A and D for all four measures. I'll write this in the notes. But the bass line does change because we have four notes in the bass line. So let's just bring the bass line in. So the notes that it's playing is D. Oh, sorry. So it starts on the Ds to F to G to A. So I won't bother doing with the first one, I'll just do this one. So we'll just erase digital 2 and so we're going to do D on measure 1. So step record, press the two Ds, use the key hold to move it to the next measure, then to F, use the key hold to move it to the next measure, then to G, key hold again, up to A, key hold to the end of the last measure. There we go. And this is where, if you've got access to another keyboard, you can play that like a string sounding on top of that, going something like this. And then when you get to the end of that, you just mute the two in the middle. Then it goes on to the last one. So let me show you how I did that last one, which in essence it's actually the same as number 1, but it's got that extra sound on digital 2. So as well as having the bass sound, we've got a higher sound in there as well. So it's still using the same voice, this Syn Brs1, but it's imitating the sequencer that's going on number 1. So it's imitating this. So it's playing exactly the same notes. So to do that, got to do a little bit of jiggery pokery, for want of a better word. So let's just erase that to start with. Excuse me. Right, need to go up a couple of octaves. So this is the standard position, so we're going at 1 octave. So we're going to put these notes in. In exactly the same way that we did the first sequence. So let's just quickly do that for you. So position 1, so C sharp, then to measure 2, to the D, then to the next measure, back to the C sharp again. So you see the notes I'm playing, and then we repeat that again for the last measure. Right, how do we get that bass sound in then now? You may be asking. We have to record it in, so there's no way of actually programming that in any other way but doing it in real-time record, unless you know different. If you do know different, let me know, but this is the only way that I know how to do it. So we need to go use the octave buttons and bring that down again. So the notes that I'm going to be playing are yeah, same notes again. So it's F sharp, A, and B flat. So this is going to be on top of it. So we use the real-time recorder to do this. So this is where you could go wrong, you could make a mistake, but we all learn by our mistakes, especially me. So let's have a go at doing it. So press real-time record and press play. So remember, the notes we're going to play are F sharp, A, and B flat. So get ready to go. There we go, I think we've got it. And then to play that, to continue playing it as part of the theme tune, we're going to use the transpose key feature. So we're going to hold the shift key down, and then while it's playing, we're going to transpose it down so that we go from the natural position where it would normally be, which is the C position. We're going to go down 1, 2 notes down to the B flat position, and then another 2 notes down to the A flat position. So rather than me try and describe it, just have a listen. So here we go for the first one. And then the next one. And this is where, if you've got a second keyboard, you can come in again. So that's how that would work. So let's bring all the instruments in. So this is where it would start on this C position here. So it's transposing down 1, 2, down to the B flat, then again down to the A flat, where you bring the keyboard in. Then all you're left with is the fading keyboard and the heartbeat. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but if you stuck with it till the end, well done. Have a go at doing it yourself and see how you get on. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's much appreciated, as are all the likes and comments and all the subscribers too. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.